Hi, guys, and thank you so much for joining me on this next talk. I hope you're all well and healthy and moving forwards in your time of your recovery. I want to begin this talk with a really simple question to us, which is this: how do we know that we're making progress in our life? How do we know that? And I think most of us answer that question by looking at something really obvious, which is the visible results around us will tell us and determine whether the progress is good or not good. We look at how much our life has changed over a period of time, whether that be 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 months. I think we need to give it a chance. Has there been a progression of change within our lives? How much easier have things become for you now? Maybe at one point they were really hard and a real battle and a struggle. Maybe things are just eased off now. How different do we feel in ourselves? How far have we come? How far have we travelled from here to here? What's that process been like for us? And when we don't see the progress maybe we'd hope for, discouragement can and probably will start to creep in. It's normal that it would do. And we begin asking ourselves questions now like, am I really changing? Am I really, really changing? Why do things seem, and why does everything seem so difficult still? Surely I should be further on now in my recovery than I thought I would be in 6 months, 3 months, 12 months time. And perhaps we've all asked these questions. I know I have at some point. But what if we've been measuring our progress in completely the wrong way? What if it hasn't been that? Let me explain. What if recovery isn't measured by how far we have come, but rather by the direction that we are choosing now to walk? And I think that's a really important distinction we need to make, because I think distance can sometimes be really deceiving. It really can. But direction rarely is just that. Think for a minute about the changing of the seasons we have: summer, spring, autumn, winter. We don't wake up one morning and open the curtains to find overnight that winter is now spring. It doesn't happen like that. The mornings become a little lighter over time. The evenings become a little longer over time, gradual. And from one day to the next, the changes are almost impossible to notice. They just really are. It's obvious to us, isn't it, that is just the case, but we subtly notice it over a period of time. But there will be one day when we will step outside our front door and we will visibly, tangibly see that the whole season has now changed to winter, or to spring, or to summer, or to autumn. Not overnight, not in one dramatic event, but gradually it has done that. Patiently, quietly, a day at a time, without us perhaps noticing the distinctness of that, of how that's worked. And I think recovery unfolds in exactly the same way as just that. It really does. We expect dramatic breakthroughs often in our life, and yet more often than not, transformation happens in just the bog standard, ordinary moments of our day. The decision to tell the truth when being deceitful and hiding it would be way easier. Way, way, way easier. Maybe accepting responsibility instead of making all the excuses under the sun for stuff. How about choosing humility instead of pride? That's a big one. Or walking away from something that once completely and utterly dominated and controlled our life. Beginning again after you've messed up, got it wrong, failed, picking yourself back up to begin again. And none of these decisions feel extraordinary. In fact, I would say that they feel somewhat really ordinary to us. But perhaps that's because we've confused ordinary with the word unimportant. And the truth is that these ordinary decisions of today that you and I make absolutely become the extraordinary life for us in tomorrow. And I think one of the greatest dangers in our recovery is really becoming super impatient with our progress. It really is. I know I am at times. I'm like, I don't want to be in this moment. I want to be 12 months time today. But I know it's going to take time to get there. And the things come in measures, don't they? Things come in steps and things come in sort of waves, and we can't rush the process. We really, really can't. We live in a culture today, you know, I'm going to tell you this, that everything is on tap, everything's quick and fast and immediate. We want things speedily, readily done, sealed, signed, delivered on the dot today, now, not tomorrow. And that is just the world you and I live in. If something takes too much time, we begin to wonder if it's working or if it's broken or if the process doesn't work anymore and it needs to be replaced. Or people need to be replaced, jobs need to be made redundant, and you know, all sorts of kind of implications around that sort of thinking. But I would say this: the deepest things in our life have always taken time. Trust. I've spoken about trust in the last few videos. Trust takes time. You cannot rush trust. I cannot rush trust. For other people to trust us again takes time, some longer than others. Our character takes time to build and refine. Wisdom takes time. Our integrity takes time for people to see that we are people of integrity and we're not liars and cheats and dishonest. Good character takes time to build for us and for people to see that in us. They'll see the fruits of our character. They really will. And lasting recovery takes time. Remember, nothing can be rushed. We want it to be, but we've got to be smart and understand that isn't how life is. And certainly our recovery is no different to that. Change is not impossible, but because real change reaches far deeper than our behavior ever will, I think we can understand that recovery isn't simply about changing what we do, but it is deeper than that. It is changing who we are as people. And that kind of transformation just can't be rushed, guys. We've just got to understand that that is not something that can ever be rushed. If we want to get this right and do it well and do it super good and super smart, we have to make these understandable decisions and realizations in our heart and in our mind that nothing can be rushed. There will be days when you feel as though nothing is ever changing. You might get up and think, I'm just no different. I'm thinking the same way. I have the same thought patterns. You know, I thought I was in recovery. I thought I was going the right way. I just don't think I am. You might question yourself a lot. There may be days when the old thought patterns return back into your mind. There may be days when you are tired and fed up and just at the end of your rope of the struggle, the constant struggle. There may be days when you wonder whether all your effort is making just any difference whatsoever. But I would say this to you: when those days come, don't let your feelings become the measure of your progress. Yes, feelings are real. Of course they are. I'm not saying dismiss them, but they don't always tell the whole story, and they're not always the full picture. Instead, ask yourself a different question, which is this: am I still walking in the right direction now for my life? Am I still doing that? Because if you are, then progress is happening. It is happening. We may not see it entirely in its entirety, but it is happening for us. It may be slower than we hoped. We may not be able to see it yet, but even if nobody else notices it, one day you will look back on your life and you will notice something utterly remarkable, that the things that once seemed impossible to you have become habits. The reactions that you used to have no longer control you. They're not in control of your life anymore. You've got better than that. You've dealt with them. The person you were once no longer defines you now. Not because one extraordinary day changed the whole course of your life and events of your life, no. But because hundreds of ordinary days shaped your life. Not one day, but many days built up is now shaping you and your life and who you are becoming. Perhaps that's one of the greatest lessons recovery teaches us, guys, is that faithfulness matters more than speed. That consistency matters more than intensity. Direction for your life matters far more than distance ever will. So if today feels ordinary, guys, don't despise it. If today feels slow for you, don't become discouraged. If today feels like nothing much has happened in your life, don't assume nothing is happening. It really is. It really is. The seasons of your life are still changing. It's still happening. And even when you can't see it, and perhaps the same is true of you. So keep walking, keep moving forwards, keep choosing the next right decision for your life, keep showing up, keep doing all those things, not because every day feels significant, but because one day you will look back and realize that while you were waiting for your life to change, guess what? It already was. It already was. You just didn't see it in the moment, but it already was. Guys, take care. Keep moving forward. Stay strong. And I'll see you on the next talk. Take care.